Hello, and welcome back to the 4 a.m. Report. In this series, we're going to dive a little bit deeper into what you can do with a podcast, especially if you plan to stick around for 25 episodes or more, or already have over 25 episodes under your belt. And the reason I'm putting both of those into the same category is because there really are under 3 million podcasts in the world, and there's not a lot. There's only 7% of all podcasters who have more than 7 episodes. And that's a shocking statistic, but it is what it is. And if you have more than 25 episodes or plan to, you should be thinking about panels or cohorts or masterminds or whatever version of the small group or community that you want to think about. These are an extremely good idea for a number of reasons. Firstly, I think in larger organizations, it allows the opportunity to break through some silos. So you've got sales, you've got marketing, you've got customer experience. Imagine putting those together on the regular on a podcast and then having that go out so that people don't have to listen to multiple podcasts to get the information that they need. In a smaller organization, the way to achieve that same effect is to bring together forces that would be beneficial to the end listener. So if you're talking to entrepreneurs and your specialty is marketing, maybe you do want to bring together other collaborations with like sales leaders and CX leaders, and then that could be your panel. So a panel is an exceedingly good idea under any circumstance, regardless of the size of business. If you are an advanced podcaster and haven't played with this yet, now's your chance. If you need a good metaphor, a popular culture reference that helps understand the value of something like this and the longevity of it, more importantly, I ask you to look to The View. Since I'm starting the reporting of this particular series in Women's History Month, I thought it's worth pointing to specifically, this has always been our little banner, but it's specifically worth pointing to The View and ABC's property of like bringing together 5 women with diverse opinions, different people speaking to different ways of life. There's never been a better time for that kind of thing. And so we really think that sometimes, if I had to go and explain to someone why a panel is a good idea, it would take a lot of thinking. But when I say to people, hey, do you watch The View? Do you understand what that does for like modern broadcasting? That was a forward-thinking move. And today for podcasting, this is a forward-thinking move. And then I don't have to do a whole lot of talking. It gets so much easier after that. So I really think, that metaphor links it for me. Consider it. Consider a panel. Consider a panel that brings that lively, entertaining, watchable, listenable quality that The View delivers.
Welcome to the 4 a.m. Report. On this podcast, we dish about fresh-pressed, fun marketing. If you're stressed out and awake at night again, wondering what to do, you found your joy. I'm your host, Susan Diaz, podcasting founder, humor junkie, observer of human behavior patterns, and mom. Each week, I'm joined by a different co-host to break down the latest headlines at the intersection of marketing and entertainment.
I want to see if you know who this quote is by. And of course, I just lost it there. Anyways, okay, here we go, folks. This is the quote. It's an infamous quote. Tell me if you know what it is. I've always wanted to do a show with women of different generations, backgrounds, and views. A working mother, a professional in her 30s, a young woman just starting out, and then somebody who's done almost anything and will say almost anything. Okay, that is a quote that started a TV show which began back in the late 90s.
Okay, I know exactly who it is,
Yeah,
but I'm going to pretend.
Of course you know.
I'm going to pretend for this one. No, Will, tell me who it is.
It's The View. That was Barbara Walters. When The View first kicked off in the late 90s, it started with Barbara reading this, and it showed the 5 different women who joined this panel of very, very revolutionary for its time for daytime TV, women coming on talking about politics, sharing their expertise, of course, talking about entertainment and making jokes, talking about social injustice. It really was groundbreaking to have women on an all-women panel on daytime TV talking politics and social issues.
I love that. Real feminist agenda that had, and it really resonates. And we're talking about Joy, right? Done anything and say almost anything.
That was Joy. Joy, who's been on the show for the 24 years it's been on.
In somewhat immodest fashion, we're going to call ourselves the Barbara Walters of this situation and say that what we are trying to do here with podcasting is to replicate the view, replicate that idea of people with different perspectives coming in to share it with a wide audience of people, right? And so the way that we're applying that to podcasting is by creating cohorts of 5 people. For now, we're focusing on women because you know what? We want to further the feminist agenda as well. Hasn't furthered itself as much as it should. That said, so putting together these panels in which you're showing up and sharing that thought leadership, having a consistent content creation engine that's facilitating that so you'll get it done.
Susan was part of a podcast panel called Insights, where she was representing the marketing voice. There was someone representing the legal advice for entrepreneurs, someone representing that business coach advice, mindset advice, law advice. So everything an entrepreneur kind of needs to hear as they grow and build their business. And that was a successful foray into paneling. So that was another inspiration.
That is 100% the thing. And sometimes the timing of things are not always right. We started on this path a while ago, and then the pandemic, So you've got to favor your own headspace and bandwidth. And so, here we are again doing it. And these are the sort of things that we've learned from it.
These are kind of the why we feel the panel, this cohort podcasting thing is the way that people should consider, or something people should consider.
Yeah, based on long qualitative conversations.
Thank you for listening to the 4am Report. If you like what you're hearing, we'd love if you left us a 5-star review.